given the current economic conditions and how the journalism field is going, like how do you see broadcast journalism going in the future, like within the next 10, 15 years?
It's changing, and I advise people that want to be in this field not to get scared. I think that, yeah, it's changing. Yeah, you know, they might be cutting down on staff and things like that, and just the business model, period. But I think that it's this new wave. It's like this new baby, and everyone has these big question marks in their head. And so I think it's, since we're here and we're in college and we're learning, we're really the next ones to kind of step up and, you know, try to help make these changes. I think that we just have to keep on our toes and have, like, you know, the next big great ideas. One thing when I took this job is I started an online position here, which is like online news producers, and so they take all the content that we did for the news and put it all on the web, and they write for the web and things like that. So I think it's just staying on top of things and kind of, you know, they think a lot of stuff is going to go to the web, and people, you know, they don't want to sit there and watch, you know, 30 minutes. They just want to go online and pick the stories they want to watch and yada, yada, yada. So I think it's going to change, but I think it's going to change to our advantage. You know, we're that generation that loves, you know, the web, and we're those little, you know, boomers that are all techie. So I think that it's changing, and I think, you know, maybe we're kicking out the old and bringing in the new. So it could be exciting.
Yeah, I'm scared for my life right now. I mean, it's like we're going into this new thing. Like, everything's turned web-based, and like we got Twitter, we got social networking sites. You know, Twitter is like a legitimate, like, people post stuff on there that you're gonna have to
break news on Twitter.
Right. You know, so it's definitely changing, but also in the news world, like, I think local news, like, some people are saying it's dying. I don't know about that, but yeah, I wouldn't say that, but it's definitely, like, some people aren't, like, I know my parents, they stopped watching local news at times because they just watch, well, okay, what's on Fox News or what's on CNN or something, you know. So it's like that's changing, but it's also, if you look at production wise, those, like, people are, there's no more camera people. It's, you know, it's all robotics, and, you know, it's changing everything. But the thing is, you know, don't be scared. You gotta fight through it. You gotta be like, I can do this. I can be somebody. So I guess that's the attitude you have. Of course, I don't have that attitude. I'm scared, like I said. But hopefully, you know, things will change. We will learn. That's cool.
And kind of to piggyback the national and the local, I did an interview. I don't want to say the person's name. But he's a really big person. CBS, that's all I'm going to say. And he asked us, the photographer and Trey and I, he said, why do you want to do local news? He said, why? Like, seriously, you got to need to rethink that. I mean, basically questioning. He's like, you know, if you're doing anything, it needs to be, you know, national news or like CNN or, you know. But he just kind of questioned, like, you know, that's kind of, you know, going away. I mean, that's just kind of the inflection on his voice. And so I was kind of like, oh my God.
I don't think that's true at all. I don't think local news is going away.
No, I don't think it's going away, but, I mean.
Is it going to be downsized? Yes. And is it downsizing right now? Yes. But would I say it's completely going away? Like, you can't say, like, print media, they're saying it's going to die. I just don't see anything dying, you know. It's a problem when, I mean, someone has to cover the local, someone has to cover Garland, or someone has to cover Denton, you know. It's not like CNN's going to cover it unless Fort Hood happens and, hey, Rick Perry's in Denton, so, hey, who do they go to? They feed off of us anyways, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
Yeah, so it'll definitely, you know, definitely downsize, but it's just to see someone tell you that, like someone that's so high up in such a big network kind of question that, kind of gives you those, like, oh, why not? Okay, so I need to go
testing your, like how much faith you have in local news, like just kind of testing what you were going to say, you think, or you think he just really didn't have confidence?
No, I wouldn't say he doesn't completely have confidence in it, but I mean, I don't think he was testing, because he had asked us a few questions like what we want to do and that we need to do this and that, and then that was just kind of one of his, like, end things. So, you know, you really want to, you know, just really kind of.
I've been like, well, are you going to hire me? You know, I'll be happy to work under you.
You know, because, and then after that, he just kind of talked about, you know, the downsizing and where, you know, kind of things are going and things like that. So just kind of being, you know, ahead of the pack. And I think that's kind of what you have to do. You have to be a one-man band and know how to do plenty of things and be ready for change. So, you know, it could, you know, it's scary, and of course local news will never go away. Definitely, you know, weather and things like that, because it's the number one reason people watch it. But you know, you can think, I mean, they might just have Pete, you know, just do his little segment, and they
Right.
might air it and then just do, you know, a few minutes here, you know, so that's scary. That's, I mean, that's eliminating a lot of jobs.
Or they'll just tell us to, hey, look it up yourself, you know? So that's the scary part. It's like, I don't want to look it
There
up.
was a fire. Please go to
so that's another scary
WFA.com for more.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, but I don't know. Maybe the way I'm looking at it, maybe when the economy recovers, maybe we might see some jobs come back. That's what we're hoping. But at the same time, they're like, hey, we made it this far without all these people, so let's just keep going, because at the end of the day, you know, they're business, so
Yeah.
they're trying to make money.
And people, there's so many, and there's a thing, kind of like the journalists. So many people now you see kind of like U News or CNN, what I report. And so everyone's a journalist. Everyone's sitting video in. Everyone can write a blog, you know? So when you get the people that your audience that you're trying to get this news out to feel like, well, I know better than what Sarah said. I was there and I got video on my iPhone. Then that becomes a little scary.
Right.
So when your audience, and I think there's still a big audience that still has a lot of faith in their local news. I mean, we have WFA here and their, you know, award-winning station, and NBC, everyone. And so, but as that audience grows, you know, that feels like they're, you know, a journalist, or they can do their own TV show, you're going to see, you know, our business go a little smaller, you know, because you're not going to get as big ratings, and ratings is kind of like the big thing. Who's watching?
Yeah, I mean, it's a scary thing when you're like, well, Sanjay Gupta is a doctor and he's also a reporter, so it's like, instead of them like, hey, go interview Sanjay Gupta, they go, you know what, we don't need you anymore. We'll just talk to Sanjay Gupta. We'll just talk to the doctor itself because he's on camera. Or so that's another
You can
scary.
email them or,
yeah, well, it's a scary thing whenever those doctors are also on-air talent. It's like, oh my goodness, it's like, I don't know. They really don't want us
It's like they
anymore.
could have their own show, like Dr.
Exactly.
Oz or something.
Yeah, Dr. Oz
Dr.
and,
Oz.
And like the web doctor online.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a bunch of stuff kind of coming up. But yeah.
Do I have time for one more?